Welcome back, Microsoft Office students and those interested in learning Microsoft Office. This is going to be another Develop Your Skills tutorial. This is our last chapter of PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint Chapter 4. So I'm going to go ahead and access our electronic book and start the process of starting the book, and then I'll open PowerPoint when they ask or whatever we need to do. This chapter is all about adding in audio and video. So I click the internet to get towards the book. I go into the address bar to go to the website, bookshelf.vitalsource.com. I was in the book recently, so I probably logged in, but just use the login information that you need. Be sure to choose the Office 2019 book. After you open it, if necessary, you might want to click the table of contents. It might already be open. I'm going to click table of contents. We're using Microsoft PowerPoint. And I'm going on to PowerPoint Chapter 4, adding multimedia to presentations, page 168. Go here to the chapter opener. So adding multimedia to presentations, multimedia basically more or less means audio and video. So we're going to learn how to acquire and add audio to a presentation, acquire and add video to a presentation, edit movies and add movie effects, customize a video's start, end times, and size. So when they say video, they really mean movie. Use slideshow timings, and loop a presentation endlessly. So that's some of the stuff we're going to do in this chapter. But the first part of it that they don't mention here is we're going to learn how to organize our data a little bit better. And they're also going to have a portion that talks about whether you should link multimedia or not. I'm going to close my table of contents by clicking it. I'm going to size my window off the right side of the screen like I normally do. Size that window a bit smaller. I'm going to zoom my text to make it a little easier to read on my eyes and hopefully your eyes. I think I'll make it about that large and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to move into the next portion of the chapter by scrolling down. It's not quite ready for me. So I'm going to, sometimes you have to double scroll. Kind of gets it a little more happy. There we go. So working with multimedia, multimedia, also known as rich media, includes video and audio that can enhance a presentation. A photographer delivering a presentation may play a soundtrack of music behind the slides of a gallery of wedding photos. That's an example of how you might use music in a presentation. Multimedia can be incorporated to playback automatically. It can be an audio recording. It could be a whole bunch of things. So part of this chapter, I'm going to have you read through more on your own. But they talk about different types of multimedia, but they get into a lot of in-depth details about different types of file types and codecs and all this kind of stuff that to me is just something worth reading, but not a lot to spend time over doing because I really want to practice the steps with you. Make sure you could do these steps on your own and review them if you need to. So the main two types of multimedia we're going to be talking about are audio, which includes short sound effects, such as a clicking or a creaking door, as well as entire songs or narration soundtracks. Most users will be familiar with MP3 or WAV sound files. Those are the two big three you need to know. So all the other verbiage they talk about is way overkill in a way. Video can include your own home movies, movie from your smartphone, camcorder, or even downloaded videos from the internet. Easiest way is if you already have something on YouTube, you can just get the link for it. So PowerPoint does not let you create the video itself. So you cannot record your own videos there, but you can record your own audio in PowerPoint, such as your own narration. Linked media files. Most media files exist as separate files that are saved outside of your presentation, but they're linked to it. However, when a linked multimedia file is moved or renamed, it will not play during the presentation. So they have us do a linked media and they have us break the link and then fix the link. It's kind of a little bit of a cumbersome thing we have to do, but you can manage it and I'll help you through it. But it's useful to know in case you ever break your own link. Organizing media with subfolders, that's what we're about to do in a moment, is when you have a bunch of media like this, these ones are videos because they have what looks like a little disc looking player. Actually, I'm sorry, that's music because it looks like a CD. These ones that look like they have the old movie thing, let's start the movie, break, whatever they call that, is a video. We're going to move them into their own folders to be organized a little bit better. Develop your skills P4D1. In this exercise, we're going to create folders to store our various media file types. They're assuming we're on a Windows machine, but you can still do this on the Mac through your Finder. It says close all programs and folder windows so only your Windows 10 desktop is showing. Click the file step 2. Once again, this is develop your skills P4D1. Click the File Explorer icon on the Windows taskbar. That's the yellow folder down here. And then maximize. I'm not going to maximize. It's not necessary. Plus, I don't want to block my instructions. Step 3, navigate to PowerPoint Chapter 4. So for me, I start with Documents. Then I have to go a few folders in before I get to the Office Files folder. So it's this one for me, this one. Now here's the Office folder. Now I go into PowerPoint. And I go into Chapter 4, which is what they asked me to do here. And it says we're going to make folders. So these things here, step 3 says navigate to your PowerPoint Chapter 3 folder and choose View, Layout, Medium icons. So that's View here, Layout Group, Medium icons. What that helps with is these ones that have that circular icon means that they're audio, and the ones with this icon mean they're video. So it says in step 4, choose Home, New Folder, New Folder. So that's Home, New Group, New Folder. Step 5 says to type audio. And then you can press Enter, or you could even click in a white space of your screen. Step 6 says repeat steps 4 and 5 to create a second folder named Video. So I go to Home, New Folder, and I type Video and press Enter. Step 6, click the P4A1 Transportation Narration MP3. So that's P4A1 Transportation. That's this first one here with the disk. Okay. Hold down the Control key, and if you're on a Mac, it's Command, as you click P4A3 Invitees, this one, P4D2 Bach BVW, P4R1 Castle, P4R1 Cheer, P4R1 Library, P4R1 Lunch, P4R1 Makeup, and P4R3 Audio Benefits. Then it says after all 9 audio files have been selected, release Control, which is what I've done. Drag any one of these highlighted files into the audio folder. So I point to this highlighted one, drag, move to audio, it says, let go. Now they're in the audio folder. Step 11, click the P4A2 band .mp4 file. So that's P2, this one here, band. Hold down Control, do P4D6 classical, P4R2 0 power, and P4R3 video. So there's 4 of them highlighted. After all 4 are highlighted, let go of Control is step 13. Step 14, drag any one of these into the video folder. Let go, they move into the video folder. It says we can close this folder window, and we're now a little more organized. I'm going to continue on in the book now. Using audio in presentations, you have many options for getting the audio. You can download it from the internet, get it from a music CD. You can use your own narrations. They go in here to talking about the audio file types. The main ones that you want to be using, MIDI if it's a basic sound, MP3 is the most typical, the most common, the most universal. So if I were in your shoes, I'd be using MP3. Okay. They talk about other ones like WAV, a few different formats. You could read them if you want. Adding audio to a presentation, it's much like inserting an image, but you can place as a small little speaker icon on the slide that functions as the start-stop button unless you want it to play automatically, which we learn a way to make it play automatically, if I remember correctly. If not, it's a video that we do it with. Inserting and linking, audio files can be either inserted, called embedded, which means it's part of the PowerPoint presentation, which makes the file very large, or linked. When inserted, the audio file is embedded and becomes absorbed, making it large. When linked, it remains as a separate file, but that separate file always has to be there or it won't play. That's what I was talking about briefly earlier when I said you could break a link by accident. So inserting versus linking. Inserting increases the size of the presentation. Linking does not. You can move, rename, or delete the audio file without breaking the presentation. True when you insert it. When you link it, no, it breaks the link. Audio file size limit must be under 100 kilobytes. That's really small. So most audio tends to be larger than that. So you tend to need to want to link it a little more frequently. Kilobytes isn't very much. And then linking is unlimited size. There's an example of the slide speaker icon that you could click to start it when you're presenting. It's hidden, or you can hide it during the show if you want. We're going to learn how to do a lot of that kind of stuff. How we insert it in the first place is we go to insert from a link to an audio file. On your computer, you go to insert, the media group if you have the group names, audio, menu button, audio on my PC. I'm going to do develop your skills P4D2. Step 1, start PowerPoint. They do say to have the window maximized. I'm not going to do that, so I can still see my instructions here. I am going to snap it off the left side of the screen, though, by dragging the title bar off the left. Step 2, open P4D2 beneficiaries. So open, browse. From documents, I need to go here. You might not have to. You could already be in your folder, your office folder. Now I'm in my office folder, PowerPoint, chapter 4. That's P4D1, I'm sorry, D2 beneficiaries. And we're supposed to do a save as. In my version of the app, it's save a copy and add the word revised at the end. So that's file, save a copy for me. I can click here after the file name and add revised. Now, if you're in the other versions of Word, you might have to click browse. You would just be clicking down here to adjust the file name. I'm going to go ahead and click save. I'm going to do step 3. It says make sure we're on the title slide, which we are. It doesn't really say it, but it is. Step 3, choose insert, media group, audio, audio on my PC. Make sure you get into your PowerPoint chapter 4 folder. So here I am in my office folder, PowerPoint, chapter 4. Now get into the audio folder. That's the important thing. That's what it's saying in step 4. And you're going to choose this P4D2 Bach BWV813. Then click Insert. It puts that little speaker there. You could even play it here if you wanted to hear it. We're not even presenting now, but if you were presenting, you'll have a speaker like this that you can click. Step 5, drag the speaker icon to the top of the slide so it doesn't cover any text. Step 6, choose slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. Remember, when I start a slideshow, it covers the whole screen. I cannot see my instructions. So I'm going to quickly look here at the instructions. It says the sound does not play because it's configured to start playing when the slide is clicked. Click as you are advancing to the next slide rather than advancing the audio plays. Okay. So then click the slide again, the next slide appear and the audio stops. So I'm going to try to remember that when I start my presentation. Step 6, slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. I click on the slide, there's the audio playing. I don't even have to click the speaker, just click the slide itself. Click to go to the next slide. As you can hear, no more music. I'm going to press escape to exit the show. And step 10 says to save my changes. I'm going to move on now to acquiring more audio, copying music from a CD. Just be careful of copyright on that. Oftentimes when you get music from a CD, it might not be in an acceptable format. It might be in the Windows Media Audio format. You might want to convert it to MP3 by using particular websites such as this audio grabber they're mentioning. Audacity is another example. You could also download sound effects from the computer, from the web, you know, like a sound of a dropping water drop or something you might want. You can find those on the internet and download them. Those can be used as well. Just be careful of copyright. And of course, eventually, if you download it, you might want to move it to a folder closer to where your presentation is, similar to what we did before. You don't want to leave it in the downloads folder unless you're going to just simply insert it and not link to it. You can also record narrations. through PowerPoint, it's going to have a little record button. It will tell you when to stop or pause. So choosing your audio file format, they're going here to compare them all. This is where it gets really deep. But essentially speaking, MP3 is very universal. It's also the most small in size. So they're showing you the same file type here as a MIDI, very small, kilobytes, but the quality goes down when they get small like that. Here as an MP3 file, it's 3.5 megabytes. And then here as a WAV file, the same song, same length and everything, 39 megabytes. So that's the advantage of saving it into that MP3 format, the most universal. MIDI file, you don't use very often, but there are a lot of sound recording, stuff like that. Configuring audio options, when you add audio to a slide, you can choose to play the audio automatically or when people have to click, and you can choose that as a style. Configuring audio styles, when you first insert, it's using no style. These are the options. You have to click to start it. It will not play across slides is disabled, so it will not do that. It will not loop, so it doesn't loop until stop. That's disabled. Hide during show is disabled, so they see the speaker. If you choose the style called play in background, start is set to automatically. Play across all slides is going to happen. It's enabled. Loop until stopped is enabled. Hide during show is enabled. So that's the most popular one. That's why they made it. Develop your skills P4D3. Skipping step 1. Step 2. Display the first slide. Then click the speaker icon on the slide. Choose audio tools, playback, audio options. So for me, it's audio playback over here. Audio options group. I'm going to click here where it says in click sequence and choose automatically. This option will start playing the audio automatically when the slide loads during the slideshow. Step 4, choose audio tools playback, audio options again. So playback, audio options, and they want me to click, according to step 4, hide during show. Step 5, we're going to start the slideshow again, and you'll notice it will start automatically. When I click to slide 2, it's still going to end. So it's slideshow, start slideshow group from beginning. So it plays by itself, no speaker. When I click, it goes to the next slide, no more audio. I'm going to press escape to exit my show, and I'm going to save my changes. I'm moving on to linking audio. So remember, linking just makes the file size smaller and everything, and you can have any size audio or video file will work. So just remember, if you ever change the name of a file, things like that, you break your link. So develop your skills P4D4. In this exercise, you'll determine whether a sound is embedded or linked. You'll then purposefully break the link to the linked file to see what happens when you attempt to play, and then finally you'll repair the link. Okay? And if you have problems ever repairing a link, the easiest way is just delete the audio and bring it back in from the beginning as a link. So I'm going to skip step number 1. This is P4D4. Develop your skills P4D4. Step 2, choose file info. Now, some of this on the Mac doesn't work so well, and in the new version of the one that I'm in right now, info is further down. In 2016, it's near the top and all that. Step number 3 says locate the related documents section at the bottom right column. So down here where it says related documents, you can see there's no related documents. Okay. Step number 4, click the little back button to get out of backstage view. Step 5, if necessary, choose the first slide. So I'm going to click slide 1. Step 6, click the speaker icon and press delete. That's on the keyboard. Step 7, this part you have to be very careful of. Choose insert media, audio menu button, audio on my PC. It's actually the next part that gets really tricky. Insert media, media group audio, audio on my PC. Make sure you're in PowerPoint Chapter 4 audio folder. Click one time on the P4. This is step number 9. Step 9A, click once on the P4 BOC, BWV813. Click the insert menu button. Remember, I've said it a lot of times. The menu button always means arrow. And choose link to file. Very important. Step 10, drag the speaker kind of away from the wording again. Okay. Step number 11, choose file info. So file, then info. You'll notice the edit links to file wording is here, means that there's a file attached, a file that's linking to it. Step 13 says click the back button. Step 14, so it's going to have me run the slideshow again and show you that it plays just fine. And then I'm just going to press escape. I'm not even going to go to the second slide this time. So it's slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. I click once, you could hear it play, no problem. I'm going to press escape to end my show. Step 18, make sure you're on the first slide. Now we're going to break the link. So it says minimize PowerPoint and then navigate your PowerPoint Chapter 4 audio folder again. So I'm going to minimize PowerPoint. I'm going to click the yellow folder. See, they shouldn't have had us close it, honestly speaking. And if you're lucky on the left-hand side, you might have PowerPoint Chapter 2, but you probably won't. So I'm going to click Documents. You might see your Office folder in here. I don't, so I have to go in a couple of folders. Now I'm at my Office folder, PowerPoint, Chapter 4 of PowerPoint, Audio. It says right-click the P4D2 Bach BWV file and choose Rename. So I right-click it and I choose Rename. Follow the appropriate instruction to rename the file. If the file name displays no file extension, so no .mp3 or whatever after it, just click after the number 3. Basically speaking, regardless, click after the number 3 and backspace to erase to the word Bach. So the new file name becomes P4-D2-Bach. Okay? And then just click away on your window there. You're all done. Okay? Step number 23, get PowerPoint back. So I'm going to click PowerPoint in the taskbar. They do say to maximize, but we know we can't maximize because it will block my steps here. Step 23 says start slideshow from beginning. And you'll notice when I try to click to play, it doesn't work. It goes to the next slide. See, it's broken. It didn't work. So I'm going to press escape to exit my show. Now we need to try to repair the link to that video. I'm sorry, that audio that was not working. Step 27, choose File, Info. Step 27 also says to click Edit Links to Files. So I'm going to click it. This file has the wrong link because the name of the file changed. It says step 28, click this link here. And step 28 says click Change Source. Go into your audio folder of PowerPoint Chapter 4. So you go into audio, click the Bach file, P4D2 Bach. This is step 29, and click Open. Now click Close here. Step 31 says click the back to exit Backstage View. So I click the back here. Step 32 says choose Slideshow, Start Slideshow from beginning. So Slideshow, Start Slideshow from beginning. Now I can click. You'll hear it plays again. Okay. I'm going to press Escape. We know that it won't play on slide 2. I don't know why this is a little glitched, that this icon comes in really big now. Remember, its size is just like any other picture. Okay. And point at the speaker icon on the slide, click the play button. Yeah. Tap the escape to end the show, save our changes. Step 36 there. I'm going to move ahead forward in the book here. Creating slideshow timings. When using background music or narration, you often want the slide time to the audio so that the track lands about the same length as whatever audio is playing. So PowerPoint lets you automate the slideshow by creating slideshow timings. Basically speaking, that means you want it to self-play itself. After a certain number of seconds, you want the slide to advance. It's kind of like autopilot, they like to call it. Determining your slide timings, it's basically math. What's the length of the audio divided by how many slides, essentially speaking. And that's what they're telling you all in this little table. So they're telling you we need about 7 seconds per slide for this presentation. To rehearse timings, PowerPoint's rehearse timings feature allows you to create an automated slideshow. Use this feature to practice your speech and automatically have the slides advance as you speak. That would be really hard, to be quite honest. Or time the presentation to a soundtrack. That's if you're presenting it not by itself. If you're going to read what's on the slide, then of course you just read what's on the slide, then you click the button to advance to the next slide, which is basically clicking on the slide or the next button. To create these rehearsed timings, you go to the, remember these boxes with the pink arrows mean they're telling you which tab and everything. To create a slideshow that runs automatically, slideshow, setup, rehearse timings, or slideshow, setup, use timings, check or uncheck. Develop your skills P4D5. I'm skipping step 1. Step 2 says select the speaker icon on the title slide. Then choose Audio Tools, Playback, Audio Styles, Play in Background. So it's Playback up here, Audio Options, Audio Styles, Play in Background. That means the speaker's hiding, it plays automatically, and it loops until the presentation's done. So that goes across every slide now. Okay, so step number 3, point at the right edge of the progress bar to determine. So as I point near, see the total length of this audio is about 1 minute and 17 seconds. See, just by pointing near the edge there. Okay, not sure why my highlight went off, so let me see. Oh, it's supposed to be highlighting, but it stopped. Now it's back, so sorry about that. So we know that each slide needs about 7 to 8 seconds. So I've learned from doing this a few times, it's actually closer to 7 seconds. So you're going to watch me do this because I won't be able to follow steps 5, 6, and 7 once I start the rehearsed timings because it basically starts running the show. So essentially speaking, you'll watch me do it, and I have to do it for around 1 minute, clicking on my slide or the next button around every 7 seconds. I'm going to do it slightly under just because I've done this enough times, plus it will help expedite things for us. Step 5 says choose Slideshow tab. In the Setup group, rehearse timings. As soon as I click it, you got to be ready because it's starting your rehearsal. If you don't like it, you can always press escape or stop and try over again. Just don't save the timings. I'm going to click rehearse timings and see up here how it's counting. When that reaches around 6, almost 7, I click. So I'm just looking at this one in the middle. When it gets around 6 or 7, I click. Once again, it's this middle one. I'm waiting on that middle one. We have a few more slides. It's not hearing me talk, so don't worry. So you have to sit through this, and if you have a longer presentation, it takes a while, as you'd guess. So I'm waiting for 6 or 7. There we go. A few more, probably about 3 more slides. Sorry for the wait. And see, I was under there minute 17, and the song sounded like it almost started over again. But it says the total time for your slideshow was this amount. Do you want to keep it? You just click yes. So there we go. I did steps 5, 6, and 7. Now it says choose slideshow, start slideshow from beginning, and watches the slideshow autoplays. Let me make sure. Yes. Click anywhere on the black screen after the slideshow ends. So I'm not going to let it sit through the whole thing, but slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. You wait about 6 or 7 so seconds that you go to the next slide automatically. Say, I didn't click or do anything. My hands are in the air. I'm not touching anything. Around every 6 to 7 to 8 seconds, it changes to the next slide. So I'm going to end the slideshow early just because I hope you have the idea of how it's playing all automatically by itself. So loop a slideshow. So what if you want the slideshow itself to continue to loop over and over and over? That's what we're going to do now. Step number 9, choose slideshow setup, setup slideshow. So slideshow, setup, setup slideshow. And on the step 10, it says click under the show options, loop continuously until somebody presses the escape key. And then I'm going to click OK. So essentially speaking, what it's basically saying here is choose slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. Notice that when the last slide is reached, the slideshow starts over. So I can try to demonstrate that by getting to the Corky one. I'm just going to advance things a little faster by pressing my keys on the keyboard. But slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. So I'm purposely advancing slides to get to the Corky slide. And I'm going to wait all by itself. After around 7 or so seconds, it starts the slideshow over again. That's what they wanted you to see with a loop continuously until somebody presses escape. I'm going to press the escape key and exit the show. It says to save and close the presentation. So I can save, I can do file and close. We're now going to move into video. Hooray, fresh. I think it's video now. Let's make sure. Yep. Using video and presentations. So similar to audio, PowerPoint lets you insert a video. Video is very much similar, but when it comes in, you can size it bigger or smaller. It also has some automatic styles, such as playing automatically, going to full screen. We'll play with a few of them. Also keep in mind that when you use online videos, they need to basically be at YouTube is probably one of the best ways. And if it doesn't work right, you can sometimes have to copy and paste the YouTube link in. But in this particular case, I don't think we're using a YouTube video. We're using one they've supplied for us. So to insert video, you go to the Insert tab, Media Group Video menu button, and you either get an online video, basically YouTube, or an insert video. Using video from your computer, once again, if you click the Insert down arrow, you can link to the file. That keeps it much smaller, which is usually a little bit better. You can also do screen recordings, which is a form of video, obviously. I'm recording this video for you. It's still a video. So you can actually record your actions on the computer. I don't use PowerPoint to do it. I use a different app. But it's a similar idea. You can record your actions on the screen and make a video from it by going to Insert Media Video and choose Screen Recording. Insert Media Screen Recording. It's in the... And then they're talking here about different video formats. The most popular one you probably want to be using is MP4. That's the most popular. It's also compressed and smaller. Codecs. Codecs are basically software that helps compress files to make them smaller and stuff. Usually the player that you have on your computer has a codec, or it might need to download one. If you're using the common file formats, you won't have to worry so much. So I don't want to read a lot of that codec. It's confusing to me in a way, and it's not worth our energies in this particular chapter. We're going to do Develop Your Skills P4D6. We have to do step number 1. Open P4D6 Scholarship from our PowerPoint Chapter 4 folder. Save it as P4D6 Scholarship Revised. So File, Open, Browse. I have to go from Documents into my Office folder. Maybe you're in your PowerPoint 4 chapter faster. I have to go here to there. Here's my Office folder finally. PowerPoint, Chapter 4. Now I'm going in to open up P4D6 Scholarship. I'm now going to do the Save a Copy on my machine, but it's Save As maybe on your machine. I can go here to change the file name and add the word Revised at the end. Make sure you have a cursor before you type. Click Save. Okay, step number 2, choose Home Slides, New Slide. So home, slides group, new slide icon. Click in where it says click to add a title and type scholarship recipient. And step 3 says click the insert video icon on the slide. So these icons on the bottom of your slide, it's this one on the bottom row, third from the left, insert video. It says navigate to your step 4, navigate to your PowerPoint chapter 4 video folder and open the p4d6classical.mpg. MPG is also another video format that's relatively popular, but the MP4 is a little more popular. So from your documents folder, hopefully you see your office folder, but if not, I have to go in a little further. So I go here, PowerPoint, chapter 4, get into my video folder, and I'm bringing in the P4D6 Classical by clicking it, click Insert. Okay. Step number 5 says choose slideshow. Oh, I'm going to close the design ideas. Slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. So slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. Boy, we've done that a lot of times. So I'm going to click to go to the next slide. And notice the video is here and it has a little play button. It doesn't play automatically. But if I click it and she starts to play and I can pause it, you might have noticed a little popping sound at the start of the video. We're going to fix that later. I'm going to press escape to end the show. And so I did steps 6 and 7. And then step 8, point to the video again to show the control bar. So here's the control bar. See this control bar? When the video ends, tap escape to return to normal view. Let me make sure I did that. Click anywhere to advance to the next slide. Yeah. Click the video. Yeah. Click the video again. Okay. Yeah, so that's all while you're playing. So I'm going to save my changes, and we're going to continue on in the chapter here in just a moment. Okay, setting video start and stop times. PowerPoint offers the ability to edit videos. While PowerPoint is not meant to replace full video editing suite, it offers some basic functions like trimming, stuff like that. That's kind of what we're doing now, setting a start and end time. There's also Video Tools Playback. That's from Video Tools Playback Editing Group to do that. You could also apply video effects. So see how our picture looks here? We can add this cool effect on it. That's going to be found under Video Tools Format, Video Styles. Adjusting the media window size. After adding a video effect, it may be necessary to resize the video on the slide. Resize a video just as you would any other object. Two-headed arrow, corner is usually best. Okay, develop your skills P4D7. I'm going to skip step 1. Step 2, select the second slide if necessary, and click the video to highlight it. Choose Video Tools, Playback, Editing, Trim. So for me, it's Video, Playback, Editing Group, Trim Video. It opens up this dialog box with the video in it. The green is the start, the red is the end. Where you see these bigger looking waves, that's where you're actually hearing sound. So you'll notice this kind of big thing line here, that's when that pop was. So they take us through this long-winded thing here, remove an unwanted sound. Ensure that your speakers are turned on and click the play button. So this is the play button. And as soon as you hear the popping sound, click stop, which this becomes stop after I click play. So I click it. So I heard the pop. It was really soon after there. And then it says click the pause button or stop as soon as you hear the popping sound. The play button turns into a pause button. Yeah. Step 5, if necessary, drag the blue playhead back to the start of the video and repeat step 4 until you can identify when the popping hears. Basically speaking, the popping is that first big line. In fact, I can drag this even a little bit more forward if I want. It actually starts a little better, to be quite honest. In fact, if she's hiding there, I'll move it a tiny bit more. There we go. They say it's about a second. I find that it's actually more like 2 seconds. Okay. The portion of the video to the left of the green trim markers, what I didn't do is this is where I put my playhead. Sorry. What they want you to do, I misinterpreted. The green trim tool is this one. Drag it to around 2 seconds. So that's close enough. That's good enough for me. Follow these steps to listen to the end of the video. So click here toward the end of the video. So right near the end of all this stuff, click, and it puts the blue playhead there, they call that. In fact, I'll go here, and you'll see when I click OK, I'm sorry, play, sorry, not OK, play, step B. See, she stops for a while there. That's what that long straight line is. So follow these steps to trim the end. Drag the red trim control slightly to the left to cut off that portion of the video. So I'm going to drag it from the left to approximately 22 seconds, right about there. So around 22 seconds. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just for you to play and kind of learn a little bit. And step D says to finally click OK. Now we're going to apply a video style. So step 9, choose Video Tools, Format, Video Styles. So that's video format for me, video styles. It's these things with the clouds, and they want me to click the More button. Now you can point to several of these if you want and just kind of see what it looks like. They would like us to choose, according to step 10, Intense Monitor Gray, which I think is this one maybe. Nope. Intense Monitor Gray. Are you this one? Intense Monitor Gray. Reflected. So you have to rest on them till you can finally find it. Monitor Gray. Yeah, so Intense Group, Monitor Gray. It's this bottom left corner. Kind of looks like a TV set now. Kind of funny. Step 11, drag a corner handle on the video's border to resize the video to your liking. So if you want it bigger or smaller, maybe you like it a little smaller, maybe you like it a little bigger. That's your choice more than mine. Step 12 is to choose slideshow, start slideshow from current slide. Move your mouse until the mouse pointer white arrow appears, point at the video on the slide, and then click play. So they just want us to quickly see what it looks like now by going to slideshow, start slideshow from current slide. When you move your mouse around, see how the play button shows up, and you can click play on the video. I'm going to pause it and then end my show by pressing escape. I'm going to save my changes. We're going to learn about setting video options. Just with audio, there's several options you can apply to videos on a slide, such as having it loop, having it go full screen. I think you can loop a video. I have to remember now. Fill the screen. There's no right or wrong answer when configuring them. It's what you think your audience wants. Remember, you make presentations for your audience. These are going to be found from Video Tools Playback, Video Options. I'm going to do Develop Your Skills P4D8. I'm going to skip step 1. Step 2, select the scholarship recipient slide if necessary, and then click the movie or video, whatever you'd like to call it. Step 3 says to choose Video Tools Playback, Video Options. So Video Playback, Video Options, Play Full Screen is what they want you to click. And that's all they need us to do. Step number 4, choose slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. So slideshow, start slideshow from beginning. I click to go to the next slide. When I start my video, see how it goes full screen? To get out of full screen, I can press my escape key. It gets out of full screen and leaves me on the slide. That's a useful thing to know if you're presenting and you want to pause and talk to your audience after playing a video for a minute before proceeding on. I'm going to end the show with escape. And the book says now in step number 8, save and close your presentation. And then you can exit PowerPoint. That's likely the end of the chapter. I'm going to go here to the arrow to go to the next portion, which is likely the quiz. As a reminder, there's plenty of review exercises. There's 3, I click the next arrow. There's 3 reinforce your skills exercises, followed if you scroll down enough and click to the next page button, 3 apply your skills exercises. I'd really like you to do those and try to submit them to me in Canvas if you're part of the Canvas community with us. And that's the end of our Microsoft Office video sessions of the Develop Your Skills. We've now done them all. We've done every book portion of the book. So I hope that this really helps you, and I hope that these can help you with your learning. Always feel free to contact me if you have questions. Take care, and we'll see you soon, maybe for other videos.